And welcome to this week's Sunday Market Outlook here with your host, Pastor Pips, bringing you my very first market outlook of this year. Now, without further ado, let's head straight into it. So first things first, we're going to start off with the economic calendar. Now, with the economic calendar, if you are someone that does trade the yen, it's looking pretty stale for you. And that's due to, the numerous amount of holidays, especially from Monday onwards. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and also Friday. So the yen might be a little bit on the slower side. Now, moving on. Early doors, we do have some manufacturing PMI for China. Moving on to Monday, we have some more manufacturing PMI for China for January, with retail sales following Tuesday for the Aussie with interest rate decision and RBA rate statement. Now, if we head over to the euro, we do have some euro PMI and unemployment change also, and also following the pound has the exact same news on the same day. Now, when we head over a little bit later on in the afternoon, we do have GDP for the CAD, manufacturing PMI for the dollar, and unemployment change for New Zealand. Now, Wednesday, we have CPI. We do have ADP non-farm employment change with crude oil inventory. So we definitely need to have a look at what ADP is saying towards us, because, this could be an indication of what the results for NFP potentially could be, but not, it's not always the case. Now, Thursday, we do have composite PMI, services PMI, and also interest rate decision for the pound, with, of course, the Bank of England speaking as well. A little bit later on, we do have a deposit facility rate and interest rate decision for the ECB, with initial jobless claims for the dollar. Now, from Tuesday or pretty much Wednesday onwards, it's a pretty heavy week for the main pairs, the main powerhouses, especially the dollar. On Friday, we do have NFP. We also have interest rate decision for the pound and also for the euro. So it's definitely looking to be a very jam-packed week full of volatility. Now, I'm going to go through a few pairs with you guys today. And today I'm going to start off with the NAS. So, of course, at the start of this year, we have seen these pairs pretty much plummet. Okay, we've seen the indices plummet, pushing down from all-time highs. Now, if we look over there on the monthly, we have come into a monthly candle here where the NASDAQ could potentially give us that push to the upside that we're looking for. Now, I don't believe that this push to the upside is going to break all-time highs. However, due to the nature of this pair, you can't 100% rule that out. But I do believe we are going to push up, especially when we look at the structure. Okay, push up, come feel some of the imbalance. Okay, pull back down, something like this. Okay, before potentially attempting to take out that low. Now, if we swiftly move over to the S&P, okay, the S&P has been dropping as well, just like the NAS and also US30. Looking at the daily there, we have come into a key critical level on the daily and also on the weekly. Now, this was a previous area where we did tap into to create that new all-time high, and we've hit that area, and we've reacted for sure, and we've given that push to the upside, especially towards market close. Now, when we get a little bit closer at the picture and we look at the 4 hour, we are in a little bit of a range. Now, in terms of the structure is still bearish. We haven't broken the bearish structure to be bullish. However, we need to see what price wants to do within the zone here. Now, kind of looking from the higher time frame, like I just explained, I do believe this will head up higher. But in order for us to see that, in order for us to catch the trade, we kind of need to see structure levels broken and wait for that pullback to then continue to move higher. So be patient with US30, with the NAS and the S&P. We've got exactly the same picture with the US30 as well, if not similar, especially when we look on the weekly with the exact same weekly area where price has exactly pushed up from. When we head down to the daily, we can see where prices pushed up from towards the end of the trading week last week. So yeah, same picture here on the 4 hour with US30, but I do believe that this will head up higher next week. But of course, we just have to wait and see. We may potentially see some drops from these areas here on the 4 hour as well. So it's definitely areas that we need to keep an eye out for. So yeah, kind of want to see price really push and break out of this range in order for us to look at catching this higher. Now, what we got next? Okay, let's have a look at the DXY. So when we have a look at the dollar currency index, okay, last week we did see price pull down, okay, into these 3 daily candles, and that's really where we rally from. Now, we were looking at this daily area for prices to potentially come down lower. However, we did just get a weekly retracement, a weekly pullback for prices to then push on higher. Now, with the dollar pushing up higher, realistically, the dollar does look very, very strong. Now, it's rather early in order for us to call how high will the dollar push. If it does push up higher, I would be looking around 98, 950, which is, pre-pandemic prices, which is quite high, especially with all the data and the news that the Fed are planning to do. So as of now, we just have to wait and see, especially on Monday, Tuesday, have a look, see how the dollar strength is. And if it is going to continue, we'd like to see how that will affect the market. Now, let's move over to GBPUSD. Now, with GU, we did mitigate out this daily candle when we've been dropping ever since. We've been catching loads of sells right from the top of it here, as you can see with loads of my entries there. And prices just kept on plummeting. Now, when we have a look at the daily there, okay, we do have some more daily imbalance for price to fill before prices potentially pushing up higher. Now, one thing to bear in mind is that the weekly structure has not changed in terms of our swing point from lower high to lower low. We literally have just made another lower high for prices to potentially come lower again. So please do bear that in mind, even though we are on the side of GBPUSD being long. Now, I would like to see price come towards our 88 or my 88% retracement here on the daily to around this 4-hour lit block here in order for us to potentially catch that long to the upside. When we have a look on the lower time frame here, especially when we have a look at the half hour and the 1 hour, I do believe GU has done everything that it wants to do here. And I do believe that this will drop lower and come and take out that low. Cool, let's move on. So let's have a look at gold. So looking at gold from the 4-hour perspective, let's start off from the daily actually. So from the daily perspective, we did really push off. We did push into this daily candle here. Having a little bit closer at the picture, we did come into this 4-hour breaker here where price really mitigated from, and we've just been slipping and sliding. Now, let's head back to the daily. So realistically for the dollar, if we don't get a push up from the structure level in which we are currently sitting at, especially when we look at things on the line chart, I do see these dropping down a lot lower to around 1760 and potentially even low as 1736. Of course, this is, a little bit ways away. But as of right now, I'd like to see the dollar recover at least a little bit, pull back higher, feel some more of this imbalance. We may potentially play into this 2-hour candle here. If not this one, the one above it, for prices to then give us that push to the downside or potentially attempt to take out that low. And last but not least, I'm going to be going through USDJPY. Now, having a look at USDJPY, last week we were able to catch some longs for the community, which was, really good stuff. And we've kind of seen UJ explode high due to dollar strength. Now, having a look at things from the daily perspective, yes, this pair is bullish overall. However, I would like to see price pull back down and fill some more of the imbalance and just correct itself before continuing. Now, we have tapped into this 4-hour lit candle here where we have seen price drop from previously, giving us quite a considerable move of around over 200 pips plus. And, 200 pips plus is a lot for UJ, especially if we're talking about an intraday trade. So we'd like to see price definitely pull down lower, especially kind of with the area that we've hit. Now, looking a little bit closer on the 15-minute, had an entry here towards the end of market close. However, I do feel like we may potentially push up higher and test this little 15-minute candle before completely wiping out and coming for the liquidity that's sat and all the buyers that have been buying this higher and higher and higher. Now, what's kind of adding to my confidence is when we look on the 1 hour, we can see price has indeed closed beneath this high low ever so slightly. So we'd like to see the test higher before we potentially come down lower. Could target 50% retracement. However, this could come a lot lower to around 70%. Now, with that being said, Thank you guys for joining me on this week's Market Outlook with Pastor Pips. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please do like the video. It does help us get to recommended pages for other people to get this information. And with that being said, remember, every day is money day. Peace.